All right, let the deluge begin. Tomorrow morning it starts. The Senate Republicans, they're going to have this health care measure out, but this will be the wave of amendments. There could be more than 100 of them, including everything from what you provide regarding Medicaid, whether you offer different plans for different folks to make this more appealing to young people who don't want to, one-size-fits-all approach to this. All of that will be sort of priced out, proposed, voted up, voted down, including, we're told, keeping a lot of the surtaxes largely paid by the wealthy in there, including the 3.8% surtax on the well-to-do on their investments. So that includes those earning over $200,000 a year, couples about $250,000 a year, as well as the nearly 1% Medicare surtax imposed on the same group. Now, that was something Republican senators were kicking around. We talked to one of them, of course, Senator Rounds of South Dakota, who was open to that idea, liked the idea. And oddly enough, on Your World yesterday at Fox News, lo and behold, Mark Meadows, he of the conservative caucus fame, saying that he, too, would be open to such a thing. Take a listen.
Even if you left that in as a potential pay-for on the repeal and replacement, we've got tax reform on the backside of that. We know that lower taxes stimulate the economy. So
you'd be open to that as part of a means of getting to the tax thing?
Well, the devil is in the detail.
Understood.
I mean, our official position is to all the taxes. At the same time, I want to make sure before I weigh in on anything that I look at both the trade-offs.
All right, that's a very big deal, folks, because that guy runs the House Freedom Caucus, sort of a collection of 40 very conservative congressmen who aren't really big on keeping any tax hikes in effect, let alone even entertaining them as part of the deal to get tax cuts. But that is a means to an end, and getting tax reform done by getting this thing done, so be it, and he would be open to it. I wonder if that is shared by Kentucky Republican Congressman Thomas Massie, who joins us right now. Congressman, very good to have you. How do you feel about this?
You know what? It's not the taxes that ruined our health care system. It's the mandates, penalties, subsidies, and bailouts that we want to get rid of the most. Don't get me wrong, taxes are bad, and the Obamacare taxes are bad. But frankly, that's not what is ruining our health care right now.
All right, so if a deal came out of the Senate that calls for, an alternative for Obamacare that would keep at least those two taxes, then they account, I believe, and you can correct me, sir, for over half the taxes that fund this. That is the 3.8% surcharge on the wealthy, or the 0.9% surcharge on the wealthy for Medicare. You would reject that.
Well, let me tell you what the Senate's trying to do now. They're trying to pass another version of Obamacare with no pay-fors. So it's hard to say. Look, I would vote, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say there's a lot of things I would vote for as long as they introduce free market principles back into our health care system. They're gone, and that's what's destroying our health care.
All right, so let me ask you where all of this is going in your mind. I think what I was getting from, your colleague, Congressman Meadows, is that something is better than nothing. I'm trivializing it, sir, but enough to say that he doesn't love everything they're coming up with, but wants to get out of the way because anything is going to be better than what we have now, so they can move on to tax reform, which is the sweet spot for you guys. What do you say?
Well, I do think we need to do tax reform, but I wouldn't say that something is better than nothing. We could end up touching Obamacare. It's like a game of Jenga. It's a stack of blocks. If we pull out the wrong blocks and leave other blocks, it's going to collapse on us, and we're going to get blamed for it. For instance, this fantasy that you can keep the mandate on insurance companies that anybody can buy and everybody pays the same price no matter what their condition is, this fantasy that you keep that mandate and get rid of the individual mandate, it creates a death spiral that's
faster. What about
Senator
Ted Cruz's approach to this, that you make it flexible, not a one-size-fits-all, that you vary it up, that younger people who don't want all this other ancillary stuff, they can get a cheaper plan?
I think what Senator Cruz and Senator Lee are proposing is to legalize affordable insurance again. And I think that's an important condition.
What if it had that feature then, Congressman, and the tax hikes still in effect?
Well, I'm like Mark Meadows here, and I hate to say the devil's in the details. Right. I'd have to look at it. But that's our main complaint. I didn't vote for the House bill, frankly, Neil. I was one of 20 who didn't.
That's right. I forgot about that. You're right.
It didn't legalize affordable insurance again. It didn't introduce a free market. At least Senators Cruz and Lee have introduced something that does that. But again, the bill's still loaded with mandates, penalties, subsidies, and bailouts, plus the taxes. I mean, that's going to be a hard pill to swallow.
All right, so you're not in that something is better than nothing. If
No,
it's this,
no.
You can't accept it. Finally,
I'm in that you break it, you bought it.
Oh, all right,
and it's already broken. You touch it, you own it.
All right, right now you guys do own it for good or ill, right? Let me get your take real quickly on this growing concern that Republicans have now about how deep this Russian thing could be with the president and certainly his son. Certainly wasn't a wise meeting. That's the best I've heard explained, but that there could be more issues to drop here, and that if the son maybe lied about that, he could have lied about other stuff.
I think it's a big nothing burger. I think the New York Times and the Washington Post are chasing Russian conspiracy theories. That lady was in Congress. She was walking the halls of Congress and talking to Congressmen.
But as you know, Donald Trump Jr. had said that there was no such meeting. Then we come to find out there was, and that he arranged it.
Well, if you say you didn't meet with Russians, does that maybe he meant I didn't meet with Russian government officials? And I haven't heard anybody say.
So you're giving him every benefit of the doubt. You think other Republicans will stick to that as well?
Well, I'm sticking with that.
Okay.
I think these are conspiracy theories. Frankly, I hope the Democrats keep chasing these conspiracy theories. The longer they go on thinking they had a great candidate with great ideas, the more likely they are to lose the 2018 election. Frankly, people back home don't give a dang about this Russian thing.
Okay. We'll watch what happens. Congressman, always a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. You heard what the Congressman had to say. What